It's not just plastics. Epoxy resins, which are used to coat the inside of metal products, can contain BPA.
Oh my God!
So that can of soup or those sardines you love, the inside lining might have BPA to prevent the metal from corroding. And surprisingly, even some dental sealants can contain BPA. Here's where it gets interesting. Some studies suggest that BPA can seep into our food or drinks from these containers. Have you ever felt reassured seeing that BPA-free label on your water bottle or food container?
This one says BPA-Free.
Thought you were making the healthiest choice? What if I told you that the BPA-free movement might not be all it's cracked up to be? Today, we'll dive deep into the world of plastics, the buzz around BPA, and what you can do about it. If you're someone who prioritizes health and well-being, this is a revelation you won't want to miss because there's more beneath that label than meets the eye. BPA stands for Bisphenol A. It's an industrial chemical that's been around since the 1950s. It's used in making certain plastics and resins. Think of those plastic containers you store leftovers in, or the water bottles you buy from the store. Many of them used to contain BPA. So the million-dollar question, is BPA truly harmful? A vast majority of medical studies indicate BPA isn't our friend. It's been linked to adverse effects on the brain and prostate gland, especially in younger populations like fetuses, infants, and children. BPA exposure may also influence behavior in kids and might be linked to conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. It primarily harms the endocrine system by messing with estrogen receptor signals. A 2015 review highlights that BPA bioaccumulates and could lead to infertility. Toxicology reports highlighted BPA as a reproductive toxin and pointed to potential links with cancer. BPA's interference with calcium channel signaling is a concern, but the definitive connection still requires further investigation. Some studies also show individuals with more BPA exposure have had more cardiovascular incidents. What's more alarming is that BPA is everywhere, even though it's biodegradable. So why should you care? As an endocrine disruptor, BPA can mimic animal hormones, potentially upsetting the delicate balance of our ecosystems. With limited mobility, BPA in our soils and waters isn't going anywhere fast. Given these findings and the fact that BPA offers no nutritional benefits, the argument against BPA is convincing. Yet, here's where eyebrows raise. The Food and Drug Administration, FDA, which oversees food safety in the US, doesn't mandate BPA disclosure on product labels. But you might wonder, why is that so? Their standpoint is that BPA in the minute amounts found in foods is safe. Now, many find this stance puzzling. Why isn't there a disclosure requirement? With the rising tide of consumer awareness, many brands now flaunt the BPA-free label. On the surface, this seems like a step in the right direction, but there's a catch. If BPA is being removed, what's replacing it? Especially in things like canned goods. They aren't just leaving cans unprotected after all. In BPA's absence, manufacturers turn to other plasticizing chemicals, many of which we're unfamiliar with. So the critical question is, are these BPA alternatives any safer? As consumers, it's crucial not just to look for BPA-free, but to ask, free from BPA, but filled with what? The health implications of BPA replacements might be as significant, if not more, than BPA itself.
No BPA, no MSG, no BHA, no BHT.
While BPA-free sounds great on the surface, the reality might be different. Some studies suggest that the chemicals replacing BPA can be just as harmful, if not more. Take bisphenol S, BPS, a common BPA substitute. Bisphenol A, BPA, being replaced with bisphenol S, BPS in food packaging and containers was seen as a healthier option. We were promised safer products, but are we really getting them? While BPS came into the market as a seemingly safer alternative to BPA, recent studies paint a different picture. Not only do some reports suggest it might be more harmful than BPA, but animal studies link BPS exposure to concerns like obesity, reproductive harm, and disruptions in cholesterol and blood sugar levels. Recent findings also indicate that BPS might boost the expression of breast cancer carcinogens in women. Furthermore, it could also encourage the growth of certain breast cancer cells. BPS exposure has been linked with compromised neural functions, leading to issues such as insulin resistance, albuminuria, and irregular vascular function, which is especially concerning in children. For women considering pregnancy or currently pregnant, BPS might not be their friend. It's shown to impact egg viability, potentially hampering fertility outcomes. Given all these emerging concerns about BPS, it's startling to think about how swiftly manufacturers adopted it as a BPA substitute. The transition from BPA to BPS in products was quick. The dangerous thing was that there was insufficient research to claim BPS as a safer alternative to BPA. Yet, recent studies have turned the tables. BPS might be more harmful than BPA in specific contexts. While both BPA and BPS lead to obesity-related effects, they operate differently. Surprisingly, BPS might link to specific metabolic disorders like gestational diabetes that BPA doesn't. As for the reproductive system, BPS takes the lead in toxicity, promoting certain breast cancers at rates comparable to BPA. The promise of BPA-free might not be the health haven we hope for. When it comes to obsogenic metabolic disorders and even certain cancers, BPS stands toe-to-toe with BPA, sometimes even surpassing it. As such, there's a growing call for BPS to be regulated in the same manner as BPA. In the race to offer safer products, it's clear that simply replacing one chemical with another isn't the solution. BPA-free is a broad term. Alarmingly, it can mean anything much like the term natural flavorings in foods. It's a term that might be masking the real chemicals at play, and while it's marketed as a healthier choice, it's important that you question its scientific basis. Doesn't all this make you wonder, is BPA-free truly the better option? So, if BPA is bad and BPA-free might not be the safe haven we thought it was, what's the alternative? If you've watched the video until here, it means that you care for your health. While you may not be able to cut off plastic from your life, there are ways you can limit your exposure. Here's the deal: use less plastic for better health. It sounds simple, but what does it mean? You should start eating from ceramic and sipping from glass. It's not classy but safer purchasing ceramic, and glass might be expensive, but it does not come at the expense of your health. And what about the plastic water bottles we carry around all day? Even if it says BPA-free, it might have BPA-like chemicals, including BPS. A stainless steel bottle is a safer choice, and always check with manufacturers about inner linings. Whenever you're microwaving food, do not use any plastic container, as harmful chemicals like BPA or BPS can seep into your food. When you go to a grocery store, do not touch the paper receipt. You can either go digital or skip the receipt altogether. Canned foods, especially fish, can expose you to BPA and its alternatives due to the inner lining. Go for whole fresh food or frozen food. These are the safer options. Remember, it's not just about one meal, it's about daily exposure to harmful substances. Over time, they can build up in your body and cause health issues. For mothers, if it is possible, consider breastfeeding. It's one less exposure point for your infant. Studies have shown that sweating is a great way to remove the harmful toxins from your body. You can start exercising regularly, but do you know what helps even more? Going to a sauna. They make you sweat more than a regular workout. While we're on the topic of BPA, here are 5 interesting facts you should know. Number 5. The global production of BPA is over 6 million metric tons annually. This massive production scale indicates its widespread use in various industries. Number 4. Not all plastics are the same. Plastics with recycling codes 3 and 7 may contain BPA, while others typically do not. Checking the bottom of plastic products for these codes can be a quick way to gauge potential BPA presence. Number 3. BPA is often used in thermal paper, the kind used for cash register receipts. Handling these receipts can be another source of BPA exposure, especially if you eat food afterward without washing your hands. Number 2. Some studies have found traces of BPA on paper currency. This is believed to be due to the transfer from thermal receipts stored in wallets. Number 1. The rate at which BPA leaches from plastics can increase at higher temperatures. That's why it's particularly risky to leave plastic water bottles in a hot car. In the evolving landscape of consumer safety, the spotlight on BPA and its alternatives serves as a powerful reminder. Labels aren't always what they seem. While the world seeks safer alternatives, our best defense is awareness and informed choices. As we navigate this plastic-infused world, let's prioritize health, question the norms, and champion genuine safety over marketable claims.